Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Connected Corner. It's your girl, Kiana B. Jones, and we want to welcome everybody to the Connected Corner. It's Tuesday. Things are buzzing here at Nicotine Media, and we want to get into our conversation tonight. And before we get started, I definitely want to talk about, again, this is the Connected Corner where you can watch us. If you're watching live from Facebook, welcome to our Facebook viewers. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Put in the search, the Connected Corner, and when you go to our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube. Tonight, we are going to be talking about COVID. We are still in this pandemic. We don't know when it's going to end, and they're even talking shutdown. And so we understand that during these times that people go through all type of different feelings and emotions and all of these different things. And so tonight we have an awesome guest with us, Miss Tracy Allen. She is a licensed clinical social worker. You can call her therapist, you can call her counselor, you can call her social worker. She's here to help us get our mind right tonight, okay? And so we want to welcome Ms. Tracy Allen from Reclaiming Hope, LLC, and we're just going to jump into our discussion. And throughout the night, we're going to have an opportunity for our viewers to call in. And so when it's time to call in, we'll put that number up for you and give you an opportunity to call in. Before calling in, make sure you comment, share, like, join our discussion tonight. Let us know some of the things that you are going through during this time of this pandemic. And so again, Tracy, welcome to the Connected Corner. You're no stranger to us, but thank you for joining us again.
Hey, you're welcome. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you this evening?
I'm good. I believe there's a small delay.
Yeah, it's probably going to be one. And I'm also doing good tonight. So just what will happen is as we go through, when I finish, I'll wait and give you an opportunity to kind of end there. And that way we don't, talk over each other or anything.
Sounds good.
All right. And so I want to, just kind of dive into, are things really busy for you right now? I know, your practice and what you're doing with everything that is going on right now. Tell us about Reclaiming Hope and, what are some additional things that people are coming to you right now that we're in this pandemic?
So I've been in practice for 2 years with Reclaiming Hope, and my population of clients has grown significantly over these past 8 months. A lot of it, I believe, was induced by the original shutdown and not being able to do anything and go anywhere, and people adjusting to that. I have a lot of colleagues who are packed as well because people have just had nothing but time to think, and sitting in the house thinking and not having coping skills is kind of a recipe for disaster. So it's been beneficial to actually, have so many people come in for therapy so that they can get some coping skills. Right now, I would say that the bulk of my population that I have are adults who are genuinely looking to cope and do the work. So I have a good group of people right now. But in terms of busyness, it has definitely picked up because people are looking for skills to cope with this pandemic because this is something new. We hear about all of the ones from years ago that our, parents and grandparents survived pandemics, but this is something new for us to experience. So it was difficult for me initially as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. I mean, we can, as we get into dive deeper into the conversation and just talking about things. And for those of us who may have already been in counseling or therapy or already dealing with mental or emotional things, I really believe that, this pandemic, and like you said, just more time to think. Some people spending more time with themselves than they have, probably, I'm sure, has definitely sparked more of a need. And so I want to take the time to welcome my wonderful co-host, Miss Tori Rose, to the Connected Corner tonight. Tori.
Hello, everybody. I heard most of what Tracy was saying, and you are so right. I'm just going to sprinkle on top of it. You got to add some grace and give yourself some grace because I was waiting on you guys to get started, and I was not in the right platform. So, welcome. It's Tuesday night. This is the Connected Corner, and we're all here.
Well, absolutely. I know that's something that we have definitely, talked about, especially when it comes to technology and, just being overwhelmed. I know I posted yesterday, I literally had 4 Zoom meetings within a 3-hour span. And so I think all of us now, and sometimes we have to like double check and say, okay, where is this meeting? What am I doing? A week ago, I actually had a WebEx. It was a conference call. I got up, I did everything. I put my, top on. I dressed from the waist up and combed my hair and put something on my lip. And then I went to the calendar and realized it was a conference call. So I was like, I did all of that, and they're not going to see me. It was a conference call. So, I think it's just, like you said, giving ourselves grace, because from one day to the next, one, remembering what day it is, and two, remembering where we're having the meetings, in this virtual world. And
Most
so,
certainly. And if I
with
could
that,
also offer, I'm sorry, if I could also offer this, I can't wait to see all of the studies that are going to come out about the Black woman's experience going through Zooms and virtual meetings. We already have a pressure on us in the work world that most people don't openly address or acknowledge. And so the fact that you felt the need to get dressed and to do all of those things and to show up and to present as your best self, where many of our counterparts come rolled out the bed and pushed onto Zoom, and we get to see them in their best, their worst, and everything in between. There is a pressure on Black women that exists in and out of the physical office setting to come and present and be your best self. So even after this pandemic, I'm excited to see the studies that are done on us, the numbers that are done on us, the PTSD that we are, experiencing. Not excited about the PTSD, but excited about the study and the deep dive that's going to happen as a result of, us being marginalized and being taught to always show up your best self.
Yeah, most certainly. You are right, and like you said, just having that, edit, pressure is now like you're virtual, and then that people want you to be on screen, right? And so we want to show and that type of thing. So with the virtual world right now, is that how you are seeing the majority of your patients? Are you still doing face-to-face? Are you doing hybrid, a little of both? How is practice looking for you right now with COVID? And then how are people dealing with that? Any tips that you can, give us now that we're in this virtual environment and getting the help that we need mentally?
So right now, all of my practice is virtual. I stopped seeing clients face to face in March. It got to be too much cleaning in the space when I got there, cleaning behind every client that I had. Everybody knows that I'm OCD anyway. Like, I'm a germaphobe, so it was like I was my own janitorial service. So it got to be too much. There was no way I was going to be able to clean and wear a mask and talk, and it just wasn't safe. Some of my clients have actually been exposed and have had COVID, and luckily they all, did amazing with it. Nobody was extremely ill, and I'm so grateful for that. But that just goes to show that how much at risk providers are, because I don't think I have any clients who are like extremely risky with their behaviors, but it comes from other people. Like, their situations have always stemmed from other people. So for me, I'm playing it safe and I'm staying virtual. I've had to get very creative with my sessions, with their work that they do, and they dread seeing it come. But we have to. It's something different. Like it was hard for me at first because I'm like, this is boring, sitting across from a screen. Like, how do you connect with somebody? We're talking about your stress and your anxiety and your depression and your relationship woes, and I'm talking to you through a screen. Like, I want to be there right in your face. I want to hand you your work right in your face, and you can pout in my face and be upset about it. Like, that's what I want to do, but I can't do that. I would rather for all of us to stay safe. So it's been working for us to, be virtual, but it has been a huge, huge adjustment. Some of the coping skills that I've been given, um, my people, we journal. Like, that's one of the things that we always do. As cliche as it is, everybody says journal, but I tell them to have a book specifically for therapy. Use this for therapy and therapy only. When those thoughts come to your mind that you want to discuss, have those written down. I find that writing oftentimes will lead you to deeper thoughts. So where you feel like it's nothing to write about, if you write that one thought down, it usually follows up with something else. um, I also have them coloring, grown adults coloring. But if you are using an adult coloring book, that has been handy. Family Dollar and Dollar General have the best adult coloring books. I used to buy them in bulk and give them to my clients because they were so nice to do. They even have mommy and me books for my clients who are mommies and have a little one right there for them to color together. So it's just creating an atmosphere that works for you, doing things that feel good. For me, mine was outdoors. Every Monday, my thing was outside, being outside near water, in the woods, hiking. That worked for me. But right now, with it being cold and getting dark early, I had to find other things that actually work for me. So one of the main things that's been working for me is aromatherapy. Aromatherapy can change a mood instantly and you don't even think about it. Like, think about if your grandmother's best cake that she made or pie, and you walk into a friend's house and their mother is cooking and that smell is so nostalgic, it can kind of change your mood. So that's one of the things that I've been working on with my clients is aromatherapy. And I started actually making them hand sanitizers and aromatherapy roller balls so that they can have them to use at work. And all of my people are still working, so that, just in those moments that are high stress, you can rub the oil on or you can spray it on your hands. So any those little things can help. And music.
Yeah, that is actually really good. A lot of the things that you talked about are definitely things that I like to do as well. Outside nature, like you said, it's getting a little cold, but even on some of the cool days, just kind of sticking your head out for like 15 minutes, like walk to the end of the driveway or come back, or just take a lap around the back. So even though it's getting a little cooler, but I find like that fresh air, that brisk fresh air, kind of like will wake you up and make you feel refreshed and help you take that deep breath. But all of those things are really important. I just been kind of packing and going through things, and I just found some markers and coloring pencils and stuff, and that was literally something I thought about. I was like, oh, just start coloring and kind of finding those things, even for us, those that work remotely from home, like you said, taking those breaks in between, that since maybe you don't take normal work breaks or lunch breaks because you're home, taking those little breaks as well, to help you refresh yourself. And so for anybody that's watching, let us know some of the coping mechanisms that you're using. If you're watching now live, if you watch on the replay, still comment. Make sure you're liking, make sure you share, and subscribe to YouTube channel. For Tori, I know you're working remotely from home as well. What are some of the coping things that you are doing right now during this time?
So I'll share one that's a kind of vulnerable
Deep
one. I
breaths.
think that right, deep breaths. I think that it's also something that most people would not be honest to admit. So I'm going to share one that is a little more vulnerable. Um, a few months ago, I started experiencing really, really extreme migraine. So I always would get migraines. We work 23 hours or 24 hours, right? We're always moving. And so I met this young lady who showed me how to scream. But there's a scream that you can do that releases, like the adrenaline and endorphins and things like that, that releases into your mind, into your brain, and it helps with your migraines. And so when I started doing this scream, it's called the tiger scream, right? That really, you put like all of your facial muscles into this scream. And it releases the pressure from your temples. It releases the pressure from the back of your head. Well, I realized one day after a meeting with my job, I'll just say that way. That way, no specific group will know who I'm talking about. I ended the Zoom and I had such a sharp pain that went across my head. I thought I was having like a seizure or a brain aneurysm. And I screamed. And I was like, wow. Like I didn't need a cold pack. Like, I didn't need anybody to crack my neck or anything. I screamed. And so honestly, for those of us who are used to extreme physical activity, being in the community, being out working, remember I had started boxing before COVID, all of these things. I need something more than a nam yo roro regekio sometimes, right? And so I scream, and it gets me to a place that is just amazing. And I can join my next Zoom call, and I'm like, "Hey guys," and they're like, "Tori, you're always so calm." Yeah, I just screamed, and you didn't get to see it, but it released those endorphins and that adrenaline and those things, and it helped with the headaches. So I've been screaming. Worked for me.
So can you
I think we lost Kiana. Tracy, can you still hear me?
I can.
Okay, so we are still in the show. I believe we are also still live. So let's just continue with it. We know that ever since this interesting orange president started, fighting his election results, we know that we've been having all kinds of broadband issues. And this is not just a Connected Corner or StreamYard concern. This has been happening on Zoom and WebEx. And so, Tracy, have you ever tried that, like releasing and screaming? Have you done that?
Like,
No, I haven't tried the screaming at all. Actually, what has been working for me, a lot of the local DJs are hosting live videos with music. And I've actually been dancing. Like I get up and house music is my thing. I love house music.
Yeah.
So I will cut that on and I will dance and I'll just go and allow myself to release that way. I also my latest thing is gonna be the weighted hula hoop. So
Oh.
I want to try that so that, because I despise exercise. I hate it. I've had a million trainers and that's not everybody's thing. So I have to get creative with my exercise, but being physical is definitely important. Like that is screaming is physical because your muscles are moving, your tendons are moving, everything is moving and it gets the kind of release because a scream creates tension and then it's a release. So I can see how that would, pull from a headache. But even as to Kiana's point of getting outside, I have to get outside. Like, even if I'm walking to my car or if it's to get the mail or around the block, like you need that air, like your lungs need it. Your body physically needs that air. Being cooped up in the house all day long is definitely going to affect your mood. You're smelling the same things and seeing the same things and hearing the same things. And if you are a news watcher, which creates all kinds of heightened anxiety, you have to, find a way to decompress from that. So the more physical you can be, to occupy yourself, but it's better. Dancing has helped me though. I will dance around this house with with my music on, with this phone on that live jamming. There's so many local DJs and across the United States who are on live. Use that music is nostalgic. So it takes me to a time that doesn't even exist right now. When I'm listening to that music, I don't know who a president is. I don't know who's not leaving. It does not matter to me. Nothing matters in that moment. I leave. That's my moment to leave this place and go to a higher level of vibration.
Awesome. Kiana, you're a dancer, and I know you were about to ask me something. So I'm going to toss it back to you.
So most certainly, I was laughing and just thinking about what Trey's saying about the DJs. I've tuned in to some of them. I know, like when the pandemic first started, Western, we cannot have our Unity Week the way that we normally do, and so Booby did, Unity Night, like for us, for Western, and literally, I felt like we were literally at the after party for Unity Day, because I danced so hard that I was sweating. Like, you could not tell me that I was not at the club. Like to Tracy's point, originally I was just like, what? Like, I'm not, I'm gonna listen and I'm gonna tune in. You know what I mean? I might comment and be like, yeah, go Booby. But I did not think that I would get that pumped and involved because it was virtual. And so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be silly. I'm not gonna dance in here by myself. Where I did. I totally forgot that I was home. I totally forgot that it was nobody else there. And yeah, I got in like completely. So I will say that is definitely, you get your exercise, you get your endurance in, all of that. And so that is a great way to how do the screen without actually stuff.
You say that last part again about the screen.
I said to demonstrate how to do it without actually making the sound.
I shan't. However, anyone who's interested, they can look it up. I believe it's called The Tiger Scream to Release Migraines, and they can see it. So just so you guys understand, it's really ugly. And at the end, your face should almost look like a tiger, and your tongue should be completely out of your mouth, right? So I shan't give a live demonstration tonight. However, I do want to just point out about the weighted hula hoop. That is an amazing opportunity, not only for physical release, but it also helps with anxiety. And so I have been extremely honest about being someone who has adult ADHD, who suffers from depression and anxiety. And one thing I wanted to invest in was a weighted blanket. And so I've been, changing some things in my house, selling things, buying new things. And so I have a new bedroom set, and I'm excited about this weighted blanket, right? And one of the ladies in the store was like, oh, are you going to get it because of, because it's heavy and anxiety? Well, and having anxiety also means I don't turn my brain off when it comes down to work. And so I feel like I've been in one continual day from March 13th until today. And so get some sleep, guys, is my point. Like, find something that also helps you get restful, intentional sleep so that you can wake up the next day and feel a lot more prepared to deal with the world.
Yeah, most certainly. I think that is a great idea. I don't. Oh, you know what? My sister, Renee, they had one, and I was over there, and they put it on me, and it is heavy. Like it. I mean, literally, I felt like a person was almost was like on me, but it really does. Like immediately, I felt like I wanted to go to sleep. When the weighted blanket was on me. So I'm interested in, experiencing that and getting one myself. And so for anybody that's watching, on the Connected Corner, where you get news and resources you can actually use. And if you're watching during the replay, we still want to hear from you. We like, share, comment. Let us know some of the things that personally you may be dealing with during this time that you want to share with us, some coping mechanisms. And then in a few minutes at 8:30, you guys can start calling in if you have questions for Tracy. Just, quick questions that we can help you with or answer for you tonight. So at 8:30, we'll put the number up for you guys to call in and so that you can be a part of the discussion with us tonight. And so we're talking about, COVID state of mind. We're, taking an opportunity right now to do a mind check, talk about some of the things that we may be dealing with, some of the things and coping mechanisms that we all may be using to help us during this time, especially right now, because, there's a threat of things heightening up. Again, if you watching news, one of the things to relieve your stress is not to watch CNN and all the news channels all day, listening to all the corona updates. Yes, it's important to stay informed, but we don't want to bombard ourselves, bringing us to a higher stressful state than what we need to be. And so just, kind of keeping those things in mind as we go through. What are some of the other things that you ladies, watch and do outside of watching the news that help you? I know a lot of times people right now binge watching, to help them to take breaks since we're in the house. But what are some of the things that you're doing and watching outside of CNN and other news stations?
So I'll jump in and say cleaning. And so COVID has shown me just how much stuff I have that I don't need. And so this has been an opportune time for me to declutter, right? Declutter my brain, declutter my space, declutter my life, declutter my friends list, like just really like getting rid of excess things. But I personally had a question for Tracy, because I this week dealt with a level of disappointment. And so Tracy, I'm going to throw this to you, and maybe you can give us some insight. So I watched Howard County Executive Calvin Ball. I watched his announcement. I watched our governor and our mayor's announcement about the changes with this scaling back because of COVID. One of the things that was suggested is only 10 people coming to Thanksgiving dinner. That is devastating. How can one overcome all of this, holiday, maybe disappointment that people are feeling about wanting to come together, wanting to travel, wanting to be with your family members and friends, but having these caps? How do you deal with that disappointment?
So the biggest thing that I can say about that disappointment is, do you want to be around to see your family for the next Thanksgiving? Do you want your family to be around so you can see them for the next Thanksgiving? Thinking that, we are playing it safe and, we have everybody's best interest in heart. It only takes one person to have this virus for it to spread. And it doesn't matter whether this isn't one of those things that you have to be dirty to get. This is something that you can get doing anything. I would rather be safe than sorry, around the holidays, because the elderly, your grandmothers and grandfathers and your great uncles and great aunts, we know they're not out moving around as much as we do. We want to be safe. One of my clients came up with a really, really good idea. What she actually did was, since she's usually the cook, she made, she's going to make small portions for everybody to eat at their home. So that's something that they can eat together and do it across Zoom, so they can still talk and have their family conversation, but the gathering just won't be at her house. Everybody will have the small pan that she's taken to their home. And I said, that is an amazing idea. It's the safest thing you could possibly do. And I think a lot of people could do that and still talk on Zoom and have a good time, and be safe. I was just looking at a video before we started of a young lady in Philadelphia, Saudia, who actually is a cook. She has a country cooking as her restaurant, and she is struggling right now with COVID. And, it's right before the holidays. This is a dangerous virus here. And I can't speak to how she got it, but she got it. And that could be any of us. So instead of putting ourselves at risk because we want to have this family gathering, let's be creative with it. What else can we do? They are showing on TV that people are having gatherings outside. They're buying the outdoor heaters where everybody can sit outside and dine. And if that's not something that you can afford to do, what else? This is the time to be creative, because we don't know where this virus is going. We don't know when it's going. And this is a virus that thrives in the cold. It does not thrive, in heat. It dies in extreme heat. So the summer had absolutely nothing to do with anything, because we don't reach 185 degrees. So we have to be mindful of what it is that we're doing. The more creative you can be, the better your outcomes are. Like the goal right now is safety first. I would love to go from house to house on Thanksgiving, but I'm not doing it because in my travels, I don't know who I can come across that has it, and then you have your whole entire family sick. It's just not worth it because then you have to deal with that guilt. Who wants to deal with the guilt? You have this dinner, people end up, and now it's coulda. Just don't even take the chance and do something different and be creative with it and enjoy that. And then do a fake Thanksgiving next March. You know, hopefully it's gone by then where you can plan for later. But I would rather everybody be safe, you know, right now. Get to your best creative ideas. All of the ideas are on Pinterest. They're on YouTube University, as I call it. Do something different, but just be safe.
Yeah, we actually, one of my cousins and I know a couple of other people for Thanksgiving are doing grab and go. And so they're just hosting like their immediate small family. But then if you want to, you know, come pick up a plate or get a pie made or something like that, you put your order in by Sunday, and then you can do a grab and go and just come and get your, you know, food. Even for some of the restaurants, I know that for some of our family friends who own restaurants, their catering orders for Thanksgiving are huge. And so even if you're doing something where, you know, you just cater something, you do a grab and go. I know my immediate family, my aunts and uncles, we started doing having family Zooms. And so we would, you know, eat dinner or have a drink and talk about different topics. I think that, you know, people can do something similar to that as opposed to like the huge family gatherings. Like you said, just because it's your relative or your best friend or, you know, whatever, it's not discriminatory. And so, you know, unless you plan on everybody getting tested right before they come to your house and making sure everybody is negative and they're not exposed before they walk through your door, you know, all of those type of things. I mean, there are precautions, but like you said, it's better to be safe than sorry.
As your cousin.
So did that.
And Tracy as your cousin. So I didn't know if you had told the viewers, this is a family Zoom right here. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and throw this off and just let the world know. Okay, we have smart and intelligent, beautiful people in our family. Oh, Kurt. Secondly, what side of the family is going to grab and go? And how come I didn't get the text?
Okay.
So I'll DM you guys that information. I don't know if she
Thank you.
want me to tell everybody.
Right, Tracy and I looking at each other like, is it you? Is it you?
I will make sure you guys have it. I got the invite on Facebook. So I haven't responded yet, but I saw it, and I'll make sure I put my order in, my bid in by Sunday. But I will make sure you guys have that information.
Jeez, Tracy, you can't even trust your cousins no more. Look at these cousins, these COVID cousins. Who is these cousins?
Yes.
I will make sure y'all have the information. That is so funny. I forget at times. Well, you know, I would say I forget at times we're related, but sometimes when we're talking, it's like, oh, did they get that information too? So, you know, again, guys, make sure you comment. Let us know, you know, how you're feeling, what you're doing. If you're on YouTube, drop your comments. You know, we'll read your comments. We want to hear from you. Tell us some ideas of things that you might be doing for Thanksgiving to be safe. Any of those ideas, what are some things you're doing right now to make sure you have a good mindset, to check your mind during COVID. And again, you can call in. We're going to put the number on the screen, and we'll drop it in the comments as well. Call in, let us know, join the discussion, join the conversation, and let us know how you are keeping your mind intact during COVID. And so one of the things, like we were talking about earlier, people, again, can deal with all types of, situations and anxiety and that sort. Tracy, what are some other services? I know it's service, but other services or things that you focus on in your practice?
So the biggest thing that I would say right now is stress management with a lot of my clients. Stress management, depression, anxiety. I have some clients who are suffering through grief right now, but I always encourage them to go to the specialists. Like there are a lot of grief groups out here, and it is best to get it from the people who are trained to do it. I am not trained and certified in grief. So, I will hear you out. I will let you cry. I will give you some strategies, but to walk you through that full process, those stages of grief, it's best to let somebody else do it. Roberta's House has the best program for grief. If you have lost somebody through homicide, usually the state's attorney's office has a resource for you as well for grief. So it's like you kind of have to shop around for what it is that you're looking for. But we work through all kinds of things. I'm finding that a lot of my clients don't actually need therapy necessarily. They need life coaching just to get organized because they have a boatload of ideas up here and it's all scrambled. And they come and they say, I have anxiety. You don't have anxiety. You're unorganized. And that is creating your anxiety because you have all of these thoughts all over the place and you aren't funneling them to one place. So that's why I always say get a therapy book when we're talking about business. So today I had a client, for example, we're working through her anxiety issues, but her anxiety issues stem from being disorganized. So there's the therapy book, and in that I give her tabs to complete towards her business because she has a business, but she's not marketing her business like she should be. So we work on the therapeutic part of coping and understanding self, and we also work on business tasks. Okay, I need you to update your website this week. I need you to write down what it is that you're providing so that you can explain it without a second glance. So, I go over all sorts of things. I'm just not a specialist. And there are certain areas where I will refer out. Alcoholism and addiction. No regular therapist should take anybody who's suffering with an active addiction. You need to go seek detox help first. If you have to go inpatient, you do that first, you get that treatment first, and then you go to a therapist. Unless you're dealing with somebody who's trained and certified in alcohol, addictions, most therapists are not going to treat you up front for that being the primary issue. You have to get the help that you need. To speak to that weighted blanket, that's another thing that it's like a hug. The impact of a hug, if you're feeling some kind of way and you get a hug, it offers comfort. It's a small space. It doesn't feel invasive. And for somebody who's anxious at the moment in a big room, you just want to feel, compact where you feel safe. That's safekeeping. It offers a source of comfort. So that is another, good thing to have. But for me and my people, it's a wide gamut of things. And honestly, next year I will be offering life coaching services because everything is not a mental health issue. Some things just require organization and strategy. So that is my venture for next year. I'm not currently taking any more mental health clients. I have a lot because my load has increased. But next year we will be providing life coaching.
Right. Excellent. That's good. And so we want to make sure, again, you guys go to Tracy's website, reclaiminghope.llc.com, and then you can see some of the other services. And again, she's going to be adding life coach. They may like the life coaching in which you were talking about definitely hit, like you said, sometimes the anxiety or some of the things that we may deal with is about like not being prepared, like those type of things, like you said, not getting organized or such. And so it made me think about Tori as well, because I know that is something that you do. In addition is, maybe not so much now, but maybe even picking back on that with the life coaching and helping people, kind of map out the things that they need to do. And this is a prime time to do that, like to really map out where we're going. We only have less than 2 months left in this year. And so going into 2021, this is a good time to map out, get organized, right? In your mind, in your house, in your heart, all of those different things.
Yes, most certainly. And, as someone who I fell into life coaching and becoming certified because I was working for a center for resource life balance and like professional health. Right? It was a long title. You know, the federal government put all the acronyms and letters all together. And so I was an HR person who found myself working in an environment where, as Tracy said, most people really just had not learned the fundamental approaches to life, right? So, you know, there's one before two, there's two before three, there's three before four, and everybody has a different level of capacity. And so it is interesting. I just said to my sister, I need to become recertified with the campaign and things that had, you know, happened over the last 2 years, 2+ years. I walked away from my life coaching practices simply because I didn't want people to feel like I was swaying people to vote for me, right? Matters of the heart are extremely interesting when it comes down to the political realm. It's like, wow, she has 100 clients and she's trying to get these people to vote for her, you know. And so, you know, having that clear understanding in my own world of where what I needed to compartmentalize and where there could be gray areas and where there shouldn't be gray areas, I did walk away from my own practice. But I love that Tracy is picking up and recognizing and not being one of those therapists that says, oh yeah, you know, this is a mental health issue. No, this isn't. This is the fact that you are the byproduct or the result of maybe parents who were disorganized or culturally, you know, in a situation where people, you never learned to pick up these skills, right? You're more reactive than proactive. You never learned how to plan. You never learned how to readjust if that part of your plan doesn't work out. You know, you didn't learn how not to take a failure so personal, but to fail forward, right? So like all of these different things, I think that's amazing. So Tracy, hire me. I need a job.
I got you.
Yeah. So I think we have a caller with us. Caller, can you tell us who you are and where you're calling from?
Hey, Toris, this is your favorite person. Y'all so excited to play your service. How y'all doing?
Hi, hey Serena, how are you? Thank you for
Hey.
calling in. Do you have a question or comment for Tracy? I know you're in the as well, but do you have something to share with us quickly?
One of the things that I started doing when the weather started changing, especially for us African American women, I made sure that I up my vitamin D because a lot of African Americans are vitamin D deficient, and that can change your mood. So sometimes people may feel that they're depressed, and you may not be depressed. Vitamin D is depressed. So I would encourage this women something else to take a look at is your vitamin D. You may not be depressed. It may just be your imbalance at that time with vitamin D. That's something that you need to fix. Two is as health benefits, know what your benefits cover. Like Tracy said, she will send you to a specialist. So know what your benefits cover because a lot of people are going to the wrong place to get treatment for the right thing. What I mean by that is that they need that treatment, but they're going to the wrong place to get it. And their insurance will cover it, but they don't know. So just know what your benefits will cover so that you can be in the right place to keep the right treatment, as well as knowing that a lot of things are free right now. So know where the free go. Because if you're doing telemed visits, a lot of insurance companies are covering clothing for nothing. So just know where your freebies are. And I wanted to tell Kiana that Tori always gets good stuff. If you always get back, I'll give Kiana with a weight blanket so I can send her a great big old hug. So I contact you on air and make sure that I bless you with your weight blanket because Tori already has hers.
Thank you, sis. I appreciate that. And thank you for calling in. That was some great tips and information. We appreciate you. We love you. And thank you so much for that. Love you. Oh, that was
We
great
love
tips and
her.
information that we got from
Mhm.
Tracy. Yes, we appreciate that. And I'm getting me a weighted blanket. Yeah.
And
So make sure
this
you
is
call
the
in.
vitamin D3.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Tori loves showing us her vitamins. We get all our vitamins that we're supposed to take.
Well, those are helpful too because I do supplements as well. I have a supplement that has zinc, echinacea, garlic, turmeric, vitamin C. It's a multivitamin that has all of it's immune support. So it has all of the vital ones. And then I drink that with elderberry, an effervescent tablet. And then I have my regular probiotics. So those things keep you going. Like vitamins are important. Those supplements, because a lot of us don't eat enough vegetables. And I'm also going to add chlorophyll because I don't eat enough green leafy vegetables to incorporate, to boost my system. I have CMOS. I'm not consistent enough with it. And I don't want the pills because I find the benefit better with the actual smoothie that people make. But I'm just too inconsistent with it. I'm a person who has stomach issues. So when I lose a taste for something, that's it. And I lost the taste for it because I had a stomach malfunction a few weeks ago. So I haven't been taking it. But I'm going to add chlorophyll as well so that I can substitute some greens into my system. If we eat better and we drink more water and, we supplement our bodies with the things that we miss, we also feel better then too because we're getting the necessary nutrients that we need. Filling our bodies with a whole bunch of grease and fattening foods, although carbs are my drug of choice. I love a carb. They are not beneficial because it metabolizes into sugar. Like I'm a sugar addict. That is my drug of choice. But being healthier with the decisions that you make with food can also improve your mood. A lot of the integrative health practices, University of Maryland has a huge one where when children have ADHD, they have a specialist there who does all dietary changes to assist with ADHD. So while we have all of these, modern Western medicines, there are also a whole lot of holistic remedies to deal with our anxiety and our depression as well. CBD oil is good, but you have to be extremely consistent with CBD oil. If you get the tinctures that you drop under your tongue, you have to take those multiple times a day. You can't take it once on Monday, twice on Wednesday, 3 times on Saturday. It's not going to work. It's not long acting, which means that it stays in your system for a long time. You have to be consistent with those things. So you have to find little things that actually will work for you. Again, aromatherapy works for everything. With migraines, Tori, if you want me to put an oil together for you, I will, where you can just rub it on the back of your neck. I'm a migraine sufferer as well, and nothing works for me. Unfortunately, the Western medicine has worked for me. And I'm truly grateful for that. I get a once a month injection. It has saved my life, honestly, because nothing else was working. I've tried CBD oil. I've tried everything. Nothing worked. But aromatherapy is designed to help with everything. So I will do a rollerball for you, Tori, so that you can use it where you just put it on your tension area so that you can have it. But it's important to know your Western options and your holistic options as well, because medicine isn't for everybody. Not everybody likes meds. But don't be opposed to getting the help that you need either. And I say that for your health and for psychiatric reasons. Because if you need the other medicine, then you take it.
Thank you, cousin, who offered, and I didn't have to
Absolutely. Well, I definitely agree, and we definitely must be related with the stomach things. But I recently, actually, when everything first started with the pandemic, I started taking the chlorophyll. And so I have the liquid that I drop into my water. And so I'm big on making sure I get my supplements and my vitamins in. And most certainly when you were talking about the diet, I was also thinking about what you were saying, children and adults, like even with us with adult ADHD, I know I try to, pay attention to certain foods or things that I eat and how it literally will change my mood or how I'm feeling or whether or not it makes me sluggish. So with young people, young adults or children who are artistic as well. And so I know my sister with my nephew, like a lot of times, the diet, making sure they're not eating a lot of carbs or different things, like you said, that metabolizes and will turn into sugar. Your diet is really important, even when it comes to your brain function and everything.
Absolutely.
And so we want to make sure we're just staying healthy across the board. Yeah. And so again, we're down to our last 10 minutes. We have time if we have one more caller that we could take. One brief minute if you wanted to call in. We're going to stop taking calls at 8:55. And so if you want to get a call in, if you cannot call, make sure you comment, you like, you share. If you're watching this on the replay, we still want to hear from you. Drop your comments, like and share the Connected Corner, and then make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And so again, Tracy, tell us where we can find you, your website, your social media handles.
So on Facebook, I am at Reclaiming Hope LLC. I am at Reclaiming Hope LLC on Instagram. And my website is www.reclaimingHopeLLC.com. I see Sabrina's comment. Please go to my website and email me. And I'll make sure that you get one of your rollerballs as well. You just need to let me know which one you want.
Awesome. Look at that. We're getting gifts tonight. That is so wonderful and great. So Tori, tell us, how can people find us on YouTube?
So you can find us on YouTube at youtube.com, and then you want to go to the little search icon and you want to type in The Connected Corner. It is phonetically spelled. There are no hidden C's or K's or Z's. It sounds like it sounds. So The Connected Corner, and you want to hit smash and hit subscribe, and you want to do all the stuff like the YouTubers be like, hit the subscribe, smash that button, like it, repost and share. So we want you to do all of that. Why is that important? That is important because we provide not just comedic relief on Tuesday nights, but we honestly give you news and resources that you can actually use from trusted people who have been working in their specific fields. They're subject matter experts. They have a lot of knowledge. And if they don't know, they're willing to get you to the people who do know. As Tracy said, I am not going to be your doctor for everything. If this is beyond my wheelhouse, I will give you to someone that I trust to get your medical needs met. That is real connection. So get connected, guys. Go to YouTube and subscribe at The Connected Corner. Share, repost, like, and comment.
That is wonderful. And then did you tell us how we can find you?
Oh, let me tell you. So why do I always show you my vitamins? I show you guys my vitamins because two things. A, you can really get them from anywhere, right? And so if you go to Mom's, one thing I like about the Mom's organic store, the one at what is it called? The Rotunda. At the Rotunda, it looks like a candy store, vitamins, right? So you can just walk through and all of this, and you can find the ones that support the things that you need. As you guys also know, I'm a Bible scholar, right? And so as someone who has studied the word, I understand that God really has given the earth everything we need. And so there's so many just herbal alternatives. Another reason I show you my vitamins is because most people don't believe when I say I have ADHD, anxiety, and depression. And so it's a little peek into my own, what I do daily, right? So that when you see Tori Rose the Connector, you're seeing the whole person. You're not seeing someone that's sad or imbalanced. So get your ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is amazing. It helps with stress and mood, and it also releases cortisol that helps with the base of the brain stem, and it also helps with how you respond, your impulses, anxiety, and migraines. And D3, because baby, this melanin, we need the sun, and if you can't get outside, get some D3. And I have some others I'll share with you guys later. So how do you find me? Tori Rose the Connector on Facebook or Instagram. Also, Tori Rose is my personal Facebook page where you get to get like a real peek into my life. And I want you guys to come to Tori Talks Community Connections on Saturday, this Saturday coming up at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be coming together in our very first meeting of the minds. And people across the city are going to be dialing into the Zoom. They're going to be talking about what they're working on, what they're doing. And this will be a real place to get your needs met. And so if you have something going on and you need to find the solution, join us on Saturday the 21st. The Zoom information will be listed on Tori Talks Community Connections on Facebook. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Kiana?
I'm sorry, if y'all see me dancing, I have music going in my head. So it's, how I keep my mind in check is that I have virtual music playing in my head all the time. But and we will also share the Tori Talks Community Connections on the Connected Corner. And so we want to make sure that our audience get access to that and able to join that as well on Saturday. Again, you can find me, Kiana B. Jones, just like that, Kiana B. Jones, on all social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of those great platforms. And again, if you are watching us live, thank you for joining us tonight. Make sure you comment, share. And then if you're watching on the replay, we still want to hear from you. We want to hear your comments. We want you to share. We want you to tell us how you're doing now during this pandemic, and tell us some of the ideas that you will be doing to stay COVID safe during this holiday. I would also like to point out that I am wearing my purple today because today is World Prematurity Awareness Day. And so myself and my sorority, my chapter, Mu Gamma Sigma of the illustrious sorority of Sigma Gamma Rho Incorporated. And so we are supporting a March of Dimes, and we want to, talk about and make sure that people are aware of premature births. And even in a developed country, so to speak, like America, it is still one of the largest and rising things that we have for infant death. And so we want to, talk about that, make aware. So we have our purple on today. And so look up, make yourself aware about that, specifically in our African-American community. And so this has been the Connected Corner, where you can get, Tori, what can they get?
Resources that you can actually use. You can actually use. Ow. Sorry, I had a moment.
Oh.
You can get resources.
And so we want to thank our wonderful guest, Tracy Allen, who is a licensed clinical practicing social worker, therapist, and she's from Reclaiming Hope LLC. Make sure you check out her website, connect with her on social media. And this has been great. Again, comment, share, subscribe. Let us know how you enjoyed the show tonight. Were you able to get the resources that you could actually use? Let us know what you think. Comment, like, and share. And we want to thank you for joining us at the Connected Corner. Peace.